Pat Pavelka. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Our activity that we're going to look at today is called Shape Books. It's a great center that's going to tie in all your science and social studies curriculum. So what we'll do first is look at how you organize it, and then we'll look at some samples. Think about when you're working with science and social studies. Oftentimes we write on the board. I know I do that all the time. And then when our science or social studies period is over, I erase the board. It's now out of sight, out of mind. Children don't have a place to look to review everything you just talked about. So now think about when you're ending your science and social studies period, if you've written all over the board, take your key concepts and put them on a poster. Or have a poster available, and as you're bringing up each key concept, put it on the poster. Because this now becomes the center. So you take this poster, and it can either be with you in the front of the room and it gets moved to the Shape Book Center, or what may be even more powerful is to take your whole class and say, okay guys, let's close today, see what we've learned, let's go over to the Shape Book Center, so that you're showing them almost the directions before they've even started it. So look at all the shapes behind me. Whatever you're teaching, those are the stencils that are in the Shape Center. For example, we were working with animals, and students had to do some reports on an animal of their choice. So we have this child that picked a raccoon. He was working with nocturnal critters. We have this child here who was doing a report on horses. Basically, they take the shape. We use this shape when we were working with what makes a friend. This is the shape that's there. They trace it. 5, 6 times you decide. When we were working with this unit, I had a minimum count of 5 pages. So they would trace, and then on it they do a mini report. They give facts that they've learned, and if they say, what am I supposed to do? Go right back to this. This is what you want them working with, whatever you did with science and social studies. And so they trace, and then they're basically doing mini reports all the time. Here are some older examples. We are working with the Middle Ages, and so we had some big castle stencils there. So students would go back to the center, trace the castle, and then give some report about the castles, the knights, medieval, what was happening. So, to summarize, it's called the Shape Book Center, always tied to science and social studies. You want closure at the end of teaching. Put your key information here. When students go to the Shape Book Center, their activity is always based on what you're doing. You'll see that students remember the information easier. They remember it quicker because they're working with exactly what you taught during the very next day. So science and social study doesn't become a part at the end of the day. It becomes part of your daily curriculum. Thank you for spending some time with me. We'll see each other again soon, I hope.